everybody, Cal Banyan here. Cal Banyan's Hypnosis, etc. on guess where? calbanyan.com. Hey, if you're watching this video anywhere else, because I know it's on YouTube and a whole bunch of other places because people repost it, and that's okay with me. You want to watch it on calbanyan.com, because on calbanyan.com, right below this video, we've got additional text, links, and images that just make all of these podcasts, all of these videos more valuable, in that there's links and stuff like that. All right, let's see. What are we going to talk about this time? Oh, this is interesting. I think it's one of the most important topics in the field, one of the most important topics in the profession, and that is, so okay, you've got your certificate. Now what? And too many people, they just don't engage. They don't go through a process that takes them from beginner to hypnosis professional. And that's something we really got to do something about. And I think the Five Pathers do a really good job on it. And I just want to share it with everybody else. All right, with me, I've got Penny Chase on the back with me. And, let me tell you a little bit about her real quick, in case you don't remember. Penny is a five-pather, a certified professional hypnosis instructor who's able to teach my courses. She's located in Mississippi, so if you can't make it out here to Texas, and you're out there in the down south, then, and you can understand those accents, and I'm getting better now that I'm in Texas, and understanding this southernish accents. And guess what? Penny can teach the course. And so that'd be the 10-day course, or it could be the 7-day version of the course. I know she's got some scheduled coming up. She is a qualified person. She is a nurse anesthetist, having worked in the medical profession for 25 years, and has now been into the hypnosis profession for a good deal. She's presented at the National Guild of Hypnotists profession as a National Hypnotist Convention as a speaker there. She has her own pain management system that uses hypnosis. I'm very happy to have her as part of our 5-Path International Association of Hypnosis Professionals community. That's right, community. We don't just say, hey, take your certificate and get out of here. One of the things I say at the end of every class is, this is not an ending, this is a beginning. And we plug you into our community of hypnotists that are getting more and more ongoing support. All right, you can watch her first appearance on this program by going to podcast number 532, or her first one in this series by just going back one podcast. All right, there we go. Let me get right into this. The topic, well, wait for a second. I forgot to go. How you doing, Penny?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome. A little wet. It's kind of rainy out here in Dallas.
So I'd like to introduce everybody to Cal. Cal is someone who has had the foresight and the anticipation to create this great community for us that he has been talking about. And within this great community, we help other hypnotists like myself, like Cal once was, who are beginners, move into feeling like they are more of a pro, and it takes experience. And I'm curious, Cal, what do you have to say about that?
Well, oh, Penny, isn't this exciting? It's like, I remember someone was saying, so when you do these, how long does it take to make a podcast episode? You can do all this editing and stuff like that. We do no editing. We just have a conversation that we think is relevant to you, folks out there, so that you can get some nuggets that'll make you a better hypnotist, or make your office a better, more successful hypnosis office. All right, so I want to talk about this going from beginner to pro. Now, this was a topic you brought up. Penny, where did you hear about it?
It's a topic that came up actually on our 5-Path boards, our community that we have for 5-Path certified hypnotists. And when I put it out there also that I was going to be doing some podcasts for you, I got several emails to this effect. And I think that I think that people so strongly want to be as proficient at this coming out of the gate as we are, but it has taken us years, and I have many years to go to be as proficient and as experienced in it as you have. It's a growth process, and I was just really hoping that in this episode that we could convey to people that we've all been there, and that it is indeed a process and it is achievable.
Yes. You know, as you're talking about that, I'm thinking, you know, I could get right into, okay, this is what you got to do to be a professional, and you just got to dig in. And I'm thinking about, you know what, folks? One of the things you're supposed to learn in your certification course, and nobody gets this unless, I think only the 5-pathers get this, is you don't just go through the book, you don't just go through the manual, you don't just watch some videos, listen to some audios. It's the teacher's responsibility to teach you how to learn to do these techniques. You need to learn how to learn the techniques. Most people that come to our profession, they've never done anything like this. I go to a party and I'm the only hypnotist there. The people say this is the first time I ever met a hypnotist. So, you know, those people come into class, they have no idea how to take the information that they get in class and begin to use it after class to prepare for seeing clients. And so let me tell you something, an example. One of the things we do in class is every day before class and after class, we practice. We have supervised practice where you practice the techniques. And myself or Maureen or one of the other already graduated certified 5-pathers, they walk around and they can say, yes, that was good. Oh, this part you need to pick it up, or you need to be softer or louder or slower, and this kind of thing. And we teach people how to practice. You can't run a practice until you learn how to practice. And so in your practice sessions in class, before and after class, the instructor needs to teach you how you're supposed to practice, rehearse, and polish up 1 week after the class, 2 weeks after the class, 3 weeks after the class. You have to know how to rehearse. Does that sound right to you, Penny?
It does sound right to me, because you don't leave class and hang out your shingle the very next week. And we impress upon our students that it's important to not do affect-based age regression with their family members and their friends, but what they can do is to practice the same way that we practice in class, to have a friend or a family member to pick that happy time that they want to revisit, and to drill themselves once they leave class until they can do that without having to look at their guidelines or to look at their practice sheet, and that they remember those steps, and that it becomes fluid and it becomes second nature to them.
You know, that's a really good example. In class, for example, if you've watched a video of mine, I've probably mentioned age regression. It's like the most important, most powerful technique available to hypnotists. So we spend days on it in the certification course because it's so important. And what we do it in a real process kind of way. For example, yes, in the first few days you learn how to hypnotize. Yes, you learn how to do covert and overt testing and deepening and all that stuff. But then in the practice sessions, I have people, in class we learn the wording and the process of age regression. Now, age regression, normally we would like bring up the symptom or the emotion associated with the problem and follow it back to the beginning of where it started, do informed child technique. Watch another one of my videos on age regression. I'm not going to teach that to you here, just don't have time. Now, what happens is, what we do is we have them just role play that. You can do pretend age regression and for a happy time. What we'll do in class, see, we don't have a therapeutic relationship with each other, so we're not going to get into each other's icky stuff. What we will do, but we can practice the same age regression techniques. We could do date time regression to a specific date time. We can do age regression based on affect, but the affect, instead of being a negative affect, can be a happy affect. We can do time tunneling, we can do affect bridge, all these kinds of things using happy times. And so when you go home after the class, you don't want to get into your mother, father, sister, brother, cousin, friends, icky stuff, because you don't have a proper relationship with them. What you want to do is you can use those people to rehearse the things you practiced in class. For example, age regression to a positive time. And because I'm going to give you a secret here. You know what? Real confidence doesn't come from reading a book. Real confidence doesn't come from watching a video. Real confidence doesn't even come from hypnosis. You are confident. You are confident. With every breath, you become more and more confident. That's not going to last. Real confidence comes from success, from doing it. So it's normal for you to not have a high degree of confidence after 100 hours. But you should be confident that you have the material and you have the practice exercises that you can go out after class, get with friends, family members, and volunteers and practice things like age regression to a happy time so that you get the wording right, so you understand the principles. You can do date-time age regression, you can do affect bridge, you can do time tunneling. So that when you actually start with a client, that stuff just rolls off your tongue. And then someone will say, gosh, how long have you been doing this? Sounds like you've done it 1,000 times. And you could think in the back of your mind, well, yeah, I have done it 1,000 times, even though that might be your first paying client. What do you think that, Penny?
I think that's exactly right, Cal. And one of the things that, to segue into this is to, once they learn that induction and that deepening and they've practiced it over and over, and I'm not sure what your intent was, but this occurred to me, and I'm curious as to what your input and intent in it was. But the more I've practiced, I've begun to notice that when you start into the three things deepening, once people, once it's their second, their third session, boy, you see them just really settle right down in that chair. And the connection that I made is that the subconscious mind has become so familiar with that process. It has associated with that depth of hypnosis and that they're safe, and they just really settle right down into it on subsequent sessions.
Well, yeah, absolutely right. And one of the things I can guarantee you, people are more likely to do what they want to do than what they don't want to do, and they're going to be willing to do what they want to do more quickly. So it might take you 5 minutes to take someone into a deep level of hypnosis the first time, but once they've been there and you've given them a positive experience, now with the proper technique, you can take them there in 8 seconds. They want to go there, they're willing to go there, and they just need you to do something to almost just give them permission to go there. So as you're talking about that one deepening technique, the 3 important things we do in hypnosis. I want as we were talking about this, I got right into age regression, and some people, they're going, oh, I'm not ready to do age regression yet. But the same thing is true with learning hypnosis scripts, like the 3 important things we do in hypnosis, which is a modified version of a Don Martin script. And inductions, that's like the first hurdle. People are afraid, oh, I'm not going to be able to be hypnotized, or I'm afraid I won't be able to hypnotize anyone. Well, in class, you want to be in a class where there's, at least 10 to 12 other students so that you can have time practicing with each one. And you want to do it over and over and over. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm a veteran. I used to be in the Air Force, security forces, and I was training NCO for security forces. And one of the things I have going for me is that I understand the power of drill. Drill, 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 drill. And what happens is when you drill something, professional tennis players, they drill. Football players, they drill. People who are actors, they read their lines over and over and over again until they can make these things their own. So they don't have to think about them anymore. And one of the techniques, one of the very first things we do in class is, well, it even goes before class. Before class, I mail out the 5-path induction. 5-path induction. You can Google it. I gave it to the world. You can use it if you want. It's an induction that's designed to take someone into somnambulism in about 3 minutes. Built-in covert test for somnambulism. It's a great induction. And I'll mail it out to them and I say, your job before you get here on class day number 1 is to read this over and over so many times that you can read it without sounding like you're reading it. And then when people come to class, now they can read it fluently, and I can give them additional coaching so that, because a lot of people, they read it well, but they still sound like they're reading it, and I give them some coaching on that. And then another thing that I'll do is I'll have them go home that night and record themselves. Most of us with telephones have apps on there that can record us and just to listen to themselves. Now, this is an example teaching people how to prepare themselves. After class is over with, they're certified. You know what? If they don't start seeing clients immediately, they're going to start getting rusty. Well, I've shown them that they can record themselves, listen to themselves, do it better, record themselves, listen to themselves, do it better, and really polish themselves up. So doing recordings of themselves, doing regression to positive times, these role play kinds of things can really give you the confidence you need to start seeing live paying clients. And if you don't do that, you're not doing anybody no good. If you don't see paying clients, you're not a professional, you're a hobbyist. Just be honest with yourself. I have a hypnosis hobby. It's not a profession. If you're not making money, then you're not a professional. Professionals make money. If it's costing you money, then you're a hobbyist. That's the big difference. Hobbies cost you money. Professions make you money. And, you know, some people aren't going to like that, but that's pretty much just the way it goes. What do you think of that, Penny?
Right. And, you know, you're absolutely right. And also, if you're not continuing to educate yourself and to learn and to practice and to drill these techniques, then you're also a hobbyist. I mean, what makes you a professional is that you're always striving to learn and to do better. And talking about doing the inductions and the deepening and the convincers over and over, when I have people at the hospital that tell me, well, I want to know what hypnosis is about, I want to experience it, I will find a private place. I never put them on the spot in front of other people. And what I'll do is I'll tell them, you know, pick a happy time that you really enjoyed when you were younger, and I will do the 5-path induction, the deepening, and the convincers. It makes no difference to them, even though they're somnambulistic and they go back and they relive that experience because it was a memory they chose. That's not as convincing as that eye lock. And that just gets them every time. And it's kind of, they're like, well, I could have if I wanted to, but I didn't want to. I'm like, did you want to go into hypnosis? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, that's why you didn't open your eyes. You were enjoying the hypnosis. You didn't want to bring yourself out of it. And so that's always something that's fun to do with friends and colleagues who want to know what hypnosis is about and they want to experience it. Is just induce them, deepen them, and do a convincer with a few suggestions, following that up for feeling great and wonderful and calm and relaxed, and then emerge them.
You know, so what Penny just did, she gave you a plan. And I don't know whoever said this originally, you know, if you don't have a plan to succeed, then you're planning to fail, right? And what you need to do is you need to have a plan for your hypnosis sessions. 5-pathers, they have a plan. They know what they're going to do in phase 1. They know what they're going to do in phase 2. They know when they're done with phase 2 and when they should move on to phase 3. But the day of really kidding yourself that you're really good by just flying at the seat of your pants and making it up as you go away, as you go along, that's got to go away. There's too many people out there just faking it, and what we want to be able to do is to know what we are doing. So, how do you go from beginner to pro? How do you go from that not so confident to very confident? Well, it starts off in class. The teacher, the instructor needs to be teaching you how to practice after class and how to build on that practice so that, you know, you can go, like there's people who've gone through my class that already had clients lined up Like, let's say they're a massage therapist or they are a counselor or whatever, and they've already got people that are ready to have sessions with them as soon as they get their certificate. And so I have people going from classroom to clients in anywhere from a few days to a couple weeks. Now, most people take longer than that because they've got to review all the course material, and they've got to go get an office and stuff like that. But if you know how to keep your skills strong from class and increase those, then you can easily and consistently go from beginner to pro as soon as possible. Speaking of as soon as possible, I'm going to put two things in here. I got time. One is, you do not want to take a month after class is over to start rehearsing. Yeah, take 2 or 3 days off and then start reading through your materials, line up someone to practice with, start going through your drills, induce, deepen, emerge, induce, deepen, emerge, induce, deepen, covert test for somnambulism, emerge. Run through these things you should be learning in class, and I mean right away. And you know what? Oh, okay, here's another little secret. One of my favorite partners to practice with when I was brand new was Mr. Pillow. I called Mr. Pillow because Mr. Pillow was a pillow. You know, most of the, induce, deepen, emerge, covert testing, all this stuff, you don't actually need a body there. Just grab a pillow off the couch, put it at the head of the couch, and then just roll through it. Like a boxer, shadow boxing. Just roll through it. It does wonders for your confidence. So you want to be able to get to it right away. Anything else, Penny?
No, I think the pillow idea was excellent. That's not anything I ever would have thought of when I first finished my certification course. I had volunteers lined up in the sense that for them to bear with me as I became proficient, that I did not charge them. But at the time, I was not 5-path trained, so I was coming from a different place. But yeah, that's great. I love it, Cal.
All right, good. Okay, wrap it up. Tell them about your website and any upcoming classes you have.
So I will be having an online free masterclass, The 4 Pillars of Effective Pain Management. And I have the 100-hour NGH-approved Banyan super course coming up in April, and there will be a week of power in June. My website's www.genesishypnosisms.com. Just look for the Southern Girl, and if you're having difficulty finding that website, just go to pennychason, CHIASSON.com, and there's a link back to the website.
All right, thank you so much, Penny. Hey, you want to check me out further? Yelp loves me. Go check out Yelp, see what the kind of feedback we got on there. I've got classes coming up. If you're watching this video a year from now, 2 years from now, just call our office, go to my website, calbanyan.com, and I've got my course schedule on there. If you're watching it as it comes out fresh, in January 7th through the 18th, I've got the 10-day NGH-approved Banyan certification super course with 5-path and 7-path. It starts on the 7th, ends on the 18th with the weekend off in the middle. Same goes for July 8th through the 19th. They're all here in the Dallas area. Weekend off in the middle. I've also got them scheduled all the way up through October. Then we've got the Week of Power. The Week of Power is the same as the 10-day course, except I spend a lot less time on the basics because this is for people who are already certified, and so I can just kind of go over the basics real quick and then get right into the powerful advanced stuff, the 5-path, 7-path, secret language of feelings, vertical model of the mind, stuff you hear us talking about all the time. And one of the best things is after you get done on the last day of class, I say this is not an ending, this is a beginning, because you're going to go into our 5-path International Association of Hypnosis Professionals community. We have the best support in the universe, and it comes from everybody who's in there. It's really, you become a member of one of the most caring, most professional communities in the hypnosis world. All right, that's it. You guys have a good year. January's coming up real quick. So Happy New Year, a little bit ahead of time. All right, Cal Banyan, signing off.